faces congestion like this, roads like these, and weather that just adds to the chaos. So that's why people choose cars like these. What cars am I talking about? SUVs. And compact SUVs in particular are the flavor of the season. Now the venue I'm in is the new kid on the block, so we decided to pit it against the competition and see how it stacks up. Who's in the fray? Let's take a look. The Tata Nexon and the Ford EcoSport. Why are these in the fray with the venue? Well, for starters, since automatics make a lot of sense with our congested cities, we have the new 1-litre GDI turbo petrol engine in the venue with the 7-speed DCT automatic. So the only other petrols in the segment are the Ford EcoSport 1.5 petrol with the 6-speed torque converter and the Nexon 1.2 Revotron turbo petrol AMT. Now these may be different capacity engines, but they're pretty close on power figures. Let's take a look. The Hyundai puts out almost as much power as the EcoSport, so it's pretty close between them, but the Nexon is a little down on power. However, when we look at the torque output, it's the Nexon that produces almost the same amount of torque as the venue, with the EcoSport's naturally aspirated larger capacity engine lagging a little behind. Still, these are only numbers, and while they do tell a part of the story, the only way to get a true picture is to put them all out on the road. Now, since the venue is a newcomer, let's begin with that. Earlier on, when we were cutting through the city, I found that the venue copes really well with traffic conditions. The gearbox is smooth and easy, and as long as you're on path throttle, it responds really well. It's only when you demand a sudden burst of power from it that it takes a little while to get going. That can be circumvented by using the manual mode for quicker shifts, but it does not allow you to drop down a gear until you hit the right RPM. When you're in auto mode, it's best to drive without urgency, and then the venue's gearbox responds much better. As far as performance goes, the venue gets off the line well, but the turbo only really kicks in past the 2000 RPM mark. Now once you pass the 2000 RPM mark, this engine feels really nice and punchy and strong. If you keep your foot pinned to the floor, it will pull all the way to the red line in every single gear. The gearbox holds the gear when you're driving hard, and when you're gentle with the throttle, it shifts up quicker and gives you a more relaxed driving experience. The venue's mid-range is really not the best part of the power band, but once you're past it, it pulls strongly again at the top end, which means it breathes really easy out on a highway. When you look at the acceleration figures, it's the venue that comes out tops, whether it's flat-out acceleration or in-gear figures. While the venue is strong on performance, handling isn't its best suit in this comparison. Now the steering is light and easy in city conditions, and as you get out onto more open roads, it does weigh up, but it isn't really very consistent. And in this comparison, it just doesn't offer the kind of confidence that the other two do. It also has the most amount of roll around corners, and the rear of the car just doesn't feel as pinned to the road as the Nexon or the EcoSport. The EcoSport feels like it's built the toughest from the moment you close the doors and get in, to even the way it feels on the road. It just feels so stable, so planted. We used our long-term car for this shoot, which has the 17-inch tires on the Titanium Plus variant, and that makes a difference to the way the car handles. The steering responses are also much sharper. However, Ford have discontinued this on the Titanium Plus and reverted back to the 16-inch tires on this variant. We have also driven that variant, which takes away a little from the steering feel and the handling. This means that the Nexon really nixes the EcoSport as far as handling goes in this comparison. But the Ford is still a good handling car and fun to drive. This engine also feels quite strong. In fact, if you enjoy driving, this is the car that you'll probably enjoy the most, because it's just the combination of the performance, the way it goes around corners, the body control, the responsive steering. It's just the car that an enthusiast would enjoy the most. When you push hard, it also gets a nice throaty note, which adds to the sporty feel. The 1.5-litre Dragon engine is not only strong, it's quite drivable too. It's happy to pull from low revs, which makes it good in traffic. But the Autobox does let it down in city conditions. Now, when we were driving earlier in the city, the EcoSport's gearbox didn't feel quite as smooth as the Venue's. In fact, it does tend to snap into a gear much more sharply, so it gets a little bit more jerky when you're on and off the power. With the Dragon engine, the EcoSport also got the more old-school torque converter auto instead of the DCT, and it's not the quickest of gearboxes. And when you demand a quick burst of power, the EcoSport's gearbox also skips a beat before it kicks down. The EcoSport has the Sport mode as well, which does sharpen the responses of the gearbox, but it has something that the other two cars don't have, and that is paddle shifters, which makes it a little bit more fun and enjoyable to drive on a winding section of road. However, the downshifts are not as quick as the manual mode on the Venue. Out on the highway, the EcoSport also feels good not only because overtakes come easy, but more so in the way that it makes you feel secure. It just feels very sure-footed. Now this brings us to the third car in the fray, the Tata Nexon. Surprisingly, this is the one that shines in the handling department. The Nexon steering offers a good amount of feedback as well, and it gives you a good amount of confidence. The car feels really good around corners as well, stable and planted. Body roll is minimal and the car changes direction without ever feeling unsettled, and it also feels really solid at high speeds out on a highway as well. But unfortunately, the Nexon is on the back foot in key areas of this comparison, with the AMT having to compete with more sophisticated automatics. So yes, in city traffic, this does feel the most jerky of the lot, being the AMT, and of course, that's amplified by the way the engine delivers power. Although the Nexon's gearbox is the quickest to offer a downshift when you press hard on the throttle, you often get an upshift when you don't expect one, and then the pause before the gear actually shifts dulls the performance. The Nexon's engine really loses out in this race. It does feel the weakest. It has a very flat power delivery, doesn't feel as strong as the other two, and even in city conditions when you're on and off the power, it just delivers the power in a more hesitant manner. At low speeds, the power doesn't come in a progressive manner. Driving it in eco mode amplifies the hesitation, normal improves it a bit, and while sport is really the preferred mode to get the best out of this engine, in traffic it tends to make the Nexon lurch forward sharply. Overall, the Nexon's performance is really the poorest in this comparison. The gearbox also tends to fumble for gears on a steep incline. Now, while the Nexon may not shine in the performance area of this battle, it does do remarkably well on the ride handling combination. I already spoke about its handling being the best in this comparison, but it's also the way that it deals with bad roads that trumps the others. The flat and composed manner means that this is the best ride quality of the three. And it's not only the ride that makes the Nexon's backseat a good place to be. So this is where the Nexon really shines, in the backseat. It easily has the most amount of space, whether we're talking about legroom or whether we're talking about the width of the seat. So if you're thinking about getting 5 passengers in, they'll be most comfortable here because 3 abreast will be the best in the backseat of the Nexon. While the Nexon is the clear winner on backseat space, the Venue and EcoSport are very similar to each other. I think there's very little give or take on legroom between the EcoSport and the Venue in the back seat, on legroom especially. I think although the Venue does have a little bit more headroom, and it does somehow feel a little bit more roomy in this back seat. The seat itself is quite comfortable and it's got quite a pronounced recline angle. But in this comparison, the Venue's low-speed ride is probably the most pliant. However, once you pick up the pace, it really isn't the most comfortable of the lot because it's got a lot of body movement, you feel a lot of roll, there's a lot of vertical up and down movement on undulating roads as well. The EcoSport's ride on the 16-inch wheels has a pliancy at low speeds, but it is a bit springy, and even as you pick up the pace, there is a bit of vertical movement. Well, that's the story behind the wheel and in the back seat. But let's stop and see how these cars match up on looks and what they offer. The Nexon is clearly the one that stands out and will turn heads with its funky design, coupe-like styling and two-tone accents skirting the window line and on the boot. The Venue is also a smart-looking car which in fact looks like a smaller size Creta. It's modern, but it lacks the presence of the other two. The EcoSport goes the traditional route with the squared-off stance and tail-mounted spare wheel. It does look beefy and it does have attitude. As far as interiors go, the Venue has a modern interior with the 8-inch infotainment grabbing attention in the center of the console. The knobs and buttons all feel like good quality, and so do the plastics. There are loads of storage spaces, and it's a modern and quality interior anybody would be pleased with. The EcoSport's new dashboard has the tablet-like touchscreen, and while the EcoSport's cabin has lasted well through time, offering the feel of being built solid and looking contemporary enough, larger plastic surfaces just don't look premium enough. The Tata Nexon's interior is good-looking, and it's an attractive layout with some good quality bits like the rich upholstery, the metallic look plastic that runs across the dash, as well as the floating touchscreen. But the plastics in certain areas and the fit and finish just doesn't quite match up to the other two. Now let's see what they all offer in terms of features. We've considered the top spec versions of the three SUVs, and each of them gets keyless entry, push-button start, auto climate control, hill start assist, rear parking cameras, and touchscreen infotainment systems. However, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are only available on the Venue and the Nexon. The EcoSport misses out on it. But the EcoSport does get some things that the others don't, like leather seats, an auto-dimming mirror, auto wipers, and 6 airbags. The Nexon's 6.5-inch touchscreen is the smallest in the contest, and it isn't the smoothest either. You don't get all that much above the modern-day comfort essentials in the Nexon, though the Tata's lowest asking price does justify things. But the Tata has exclusive bragging rights, being the only global NCAP-rated 5-star car in India. The Venue is the only one with a sunroof, wireless charging, and also the only one with embedded SIM-based connected tech. While some of the connected features like remote ignition and climate control are cool, we frankly never made use of them. However, the Venue Automatic misses out on a rear wiper, and in weather like this, we really needed it. It also misses out on the rear armrest. Now, in a compact SUV, boot space also matters, so let's take a look at that. The Nexon has a 350-litre boot, and the 60-40 seat split allows you to open up more room. And the seats fold flatter in comparison to the EcoSport, with the base being a flip unit too. The Venue too has a 350-litre boot, but the automatic doesn't come with a 60-40 rear seat split. In the EcoSport, it's also easy to open up room with the flip and fold seats that expand the 352 litres to 1,178 litres. To sum it up, each of these cars has its strengths. Let's begin with the Nexon. It really outshines the others in the backseat experience, with the most amount of space and comfort and a good ride quality. The car is also value for money. But like I said, in key areas of this comparison, it falls short. And since this is a comparison of automatics, it's highly unlikely you'd buy an automatic to be chauffeured around in. So it's not the car we'd recommend. The EcoSport is the one we'd like to recommend if you really enjoy the experience behind the wheel. It is clearly a car that has a good combination of performance and handling, but it doesn't do as well as the Venue in city conditions, and it isn't as well equipped or as modern. So yes, the newcomer is the one that wins this battle, but it's not without its faults. It isn't the best on space, and neither is it the best handling car in this battle. But even on those fronts, it does come close enough. What the Venue does have is a good quality interior. It looks nice, it's very well equipped for its price, it's light on its feet and easy to drive in city conditions. It also has good performance. Like we said, these are cars that people buy for the convenience of cutting through the daily grind as well as dealing with the road conditions. And the Venue does that really well.